In last rehouse video, I asked you if you want to see a triple brachypelma rehouse or double arboreal rehouse, and majority of you voted for double arboreal rehouse, so that is exactly what we are going to do today. And these two are the lucky winners, these two ladies. This first one is Avicularia. She used to be called Avicularia geroldi, but after Avicularia revision, she was moved into Avicularia genus. They are now labeled as different morphs, so you have Avicularia morph 1, morph 2, morph 3, and the smart thing would be to not crossbreed those morphs, because in that revision they just said that they didn't actually do the actual revision of those species. From my understanding, they just moved them all into Avicularia genus, but they didn't finalize it and said that they could still be a different species. So because of that fact, you definitely shouldn't crossbreed those morphs. And the second lucky lady is, if only I can maybe spot her, she's somewhere in the corkbark, but this is Heteroscodra maculata, the African tarantula, while this one is South American one. And I actually, this time I have the labels for them. This is Avicularia, and this is Heteroscodra maculata. These are the labels, but I will also write somewhere here that this is actually ex Avicularia geroldi to prevent some future mixed ups. And these are the two enclosures for them. You are by now already familiar with this system that I have for the door setup. I mean the door mechanism, because it is, I would say, unique, because you see now it is locked, you cannot open it, but if you do a little motion, a lifting motion, that enables you to lock it and unlock it. So it is really smooth, I would say, when it works at least. And the same thing when you are closing it, you just lift it up and pop, it just fits in its place. If you don't lift the door, then you cannot fully close it, you see, but when you lift it, there, it fits. And it is, it is perfectly safe, because tarantula cannot really lift the door, and the only way to open the actual door is to lift them. And yeah, I have seen a lot of comments asking if I am selling these or if I can share the blueprints of this system, but I've been developing it for last 2 years, trying to perfect it and to make it work as it should and to be as sturdy as possible. So if I make it sturdy enough, then I will definitely sell them. Maybe the system on its own, just the plastic parts, or maybe the whole enclosures, I don't really know. But currently, since these parts are 3D printed, they are not super strong. For example, if I continue to push it in this way, then this part would probably break. So technically I could print a bunch of parts, but they just aren't as strong as I would want them to be. So until then I won't be selling them, but it is a future thing, some future plans. And you see I'm finalizing the designs because I'm making a ton of them. I will have in total like 100 of these enclosures in total here in the dark den, and they will all look like this, the same, which is what I prefer, what I like. And now we can start with the setup. First enclosure that we are going to set up will be for Avicularia, and in both enclosures, or no, actually in just one enclosure I will have live plants. The other for Heteroscodra maculata, I won't be putting live plants inside because it is an African tarantula and they prefer it a bit drier than usual tarantulas. Usual arboreal tarantulas from South America and also from Asia, like pokies and avicularias and salpeos, they all prefer it a bit humid and moist, you know, yeah. So because of that, this enclosure will actually have a drainage layer here, and the drainage layer, you know, it is clay balls, a lot of clay balls. And this is the mesh, you know, we just put it on top of the clay balls, and that way we will separate the drainage layer from the substrate that will be on top. For the substrate, I will use the same mixture that I used for my Grammostola enclosures. This is actually be the same mixture that I will probably from now on use in all of the enclosure that I will make in the future. So yeah, you will see it most of the time. Because for now I'm really satisfied with how it looks and how it performs. I have maybe used a bit too much, but I think that it shouldn't be a problem. This is the cork bark for the hide, and that just goes here. Now the plants, I have these two pothos plants that I'm going to stick inside. And this one is kind of tall, so it will go like that. While the other one is, you see, a bit smaller, so that one will go right here. Now we just need a bit more leaf litter and springtails. And I have seen comments of you asking why I didn't put springtails in Grammostola's enclosures. They don't really need it that humid. So if the substrate is not humid enough, then the springtails will die off on its own. So there was no point in putting springtails inside if they will just die off eventually. Yeah, no point in that. But in this enclosure, where we have live plants, we definitely want them. We want a lot of them. That should be enough. Now, I also took this plant from Frog Vivarium. It is growing like crazy in there. Almost every group of leaves got its own root structure, so I think that I can just stick that inside of the substrate and then it should continue to grow on its own. I'm not really sure if you can replant this plant like that, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Gonna figure that out on my own to see if it works or not. Okay, leaf litter as I said. Felix, where are you going? Felix is here to say hi. Go there. Come on, Felix, grab on it. I know you want it. You don't? Where do you want to go? Maybe here. I outsmarted him. Right back. I have two bigger pieces of leaf litter, you see? Felix, do you like this? No, I don't think so. But we are just going to put them one here and the other one here. Where are you going? You don't like it here, huh? I'm gonna put him back. I just wanted him to say hi to you, and I think that he did that in his own way. I need water because I don't want this plant to just dry off, so they need a lot of water. And the enclosure is ready for the tarantula. I think that she's going to enjoy it, and maybe this time she won't try to poop me. If you remember, this is the one that actually pooped when I unpacked her for the first time. So the two of us already have a history. I learned that I definitely need to stay away from that booty to make sure I don't get pooped. It seems like she's already preparing it. I need a poking stick to just make sure that she's not bitey. No, she's not, but that booty, please don't poop on me. She's so gorgeous, look at her. Even prettier when she's standing on that cork bark. So now I'm just going to lean that cork bark like this. Or I can actually just scoop her up, scoop her inside. Is she preparing to poop or not? Oh, no, I don't like it. No, no, no. This booty is a weapon. Come on, move it. Go on that cork bark, the other cork bark. I'm so not sure if she's going to poop or not. Move it, move it. Poop, 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 poop. I think I'm getting too comfortable with this. It looks like I need two hands. Let's do it like this. Please move forward. Come on, don't be so passive. She really doesn't want to go. Leave this cork bark. Oh, barely. She's so stubborn, but at least she's not bolty and I can handle her really easily. That's a plus. But that movement, it is so weird and funny. I think that you should really be satisfied with what you got, because your enclosure is the prettiest out of all the enclosures that I made recently. Definitely prettier than the ones I made for Grammostolas, because there are live plants inside, especially this small one. I really like seeing plants that have small leaves inside of enclosures. And look at the springtails crawling around, already exploring the place and searching for food. Don't worry, I bet she will poop soon and then you will have a lot of things to eat and clean. Now I can close her enclosure off and set up the enclosure for the Heteroscodra maculata. But with her, we won't be able to have this type of interaction. You know, African tarantulas, by the default, they have much stronger venom, and I never actually handled the African tarantula because of that reasons, because of the stronger venom, and also they are much faster and harder to predict and harder to contain. Therefore, with her, we will need to be super careful. But yeah, I need to stick the label on her enclosure first. Actually, I will put her on the shelf and stick it over there because it will be a bit easier like that. There, you see, looking pretty good. Yeah. Now this enclosure setup, it will be a bit simpler and similar to the ones that we made for Grammostolas, because there is no live plants, there is no drainage layer, just substrate, some decoration, corkbark hide, and tarantula, the most important ingredient. Do we need more? Yeah, we need more. Just one more scoop. Corkbark will be positioned sideways, just like that, you see? But I also plan to add more details like rocks and some other stuff. Twigs, if I can find some good ones. Because my twig stock is getting really low. I need to go out and get more twigs like this one that are interesting to look at. Because this one is actually the last one of this type, unfortunately. And also I need to get more of these flat rocks that I got. When you are adding rocks to our enclosure, the only problem is you add a lot of weight with that rocks, but these flat rocks, since they are flat, they are not that heavy, but in the same time they still give you the rocky feel of the enclosure, especially these smaller shards, you see. I really like that, but I need more. And with that I would call it a day, you see. I think it definitely looks sweet, and it seems like there is a lot of rocks inside, even though they're just two bigger parts and these are just small shards. So let's get a tarantula inside. But as I already explained, I need to be super careful with this one, because this one can give you a nasty bite. Therefore I need a tweezers. That is the best way to do this safe, because you see, she's right there. These are her legs. I'm gonna pull it out, and I think that I will just do a thing like this. So therefore I will be able to just poke her from this side, and she will hopefully just bolt inside of the enclosure and find her hide fast, because I know that this species doesn't really appreciate being exposed. So let's do this and see how it will go. So far ignoring my pokes, maybe a little push. She's actually moving really alright. Nothing dramatic so far. Check her out, she's also a pretty one. Ooh, and I don't think that, you see, she doesn't appreciate the fact that she is coming outside on the light. Ooh, go, that's new, more spacious enclosure. Note that she can bolt anytime, but so far so good. But even if she bolts, it should be alright, because she can only bolt in this direction, hopefully. Go, on the corkbark you go, so I can take a good picture of you. Yes, ooh, sweet. Now we can see her really good, and it looks like she's going to move around for us, which is awesome. Yes, just go. Or just squeeze there, I don't mind it. If you were looking at it like this, maybe you would even miss the fact that there is a tarantula sitting right there. This would actually be a nice Instagram picture, I think. Yeah, let me grab my cell phone. I cannot believe that there is no ninja emoji on the Instagram. What is this? So disappointed. Alright, but I think that with this we can end this video, because two enclosures are set up. Let me just bring her on this shelf, and I need to put a label on it, and then we can call it a day. Yeah, let me just do that. Here they are, but unfortunately the light cable is not long enough, and I cannot put light like this, so therefore it's not equally lit. But yeah, you can see it, you can see how it looks, and this shelf is starting to fill up, which is once full with tarantulas in all of the enclosures, this shelf will definitely be the prettiest in the dark den. What do you think, huh? And if you're wondering, these two arboreas that are lacking, they are right here, waiting for their backgrounds to cure. So in a day or so they will also be ready for the setup. Now, next enclosure, next rehouse will be a triple brachypelma rehouse. Then after that we'll probably do another arboreal rehouse, and then another brachypelma / little tocatel rehouse, and slowly but surely that enclosure will be, that shelf will be full, finished, and we will need to build another one. So now I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel even more, there's a Patreon page. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload every Monday and Friday. So see you again soon. Bye.